Let's move over to the defensive line, Brad, because this you could argue this might be as a collective, and we can split the defensive tackles and the defensive ends, or we can kind of just talk about them all together, which I think might be a little bit more effective. But this might be as a collective the best unit on the team.
Yeah, it's definitely the most scholarship guys in a group. So it's the biggest group we got to go through. They got 19 scholarship D linemen this year.
All right, we'll split it. Let's talk about already pick a room.
11 of them are year 1, year 2 guys. So they have 8 upperclassmen, as in redshirt sophomore plus, in this room. Very young, very which is a lot of room for opportunity because I have a redshirt freshman in my 2 deep, and it's a guy who we've always been very high on, who was not a blue chip recruit, by the way. Let me double check on that.
I think that probably the best way to attack the room as a whole is probably to quickly highlight those 11 underclassmen and then dive into who's the upperclassmen who are really going to make a significant impact on the field this year.
You want to start with the lower groups? Okay. Yeah. So in the wings, in the weightings of the rooms, we brought in 5 true freshmen. Oh, no, 6. 6 true freshmen. Brought in DNs, Ronell Johnson, 6'3", 269 from Missouri. Number 42, Cavante Hugan, 6'1", 227. So he's a little light, but he is a blue chip guy. So like long term, like this guy, put some weight on him. We're going to be looking really good with Cavante Hugan, Scarface Hugan. 4 D tackles. Rodney White comes in at 6'1", 294. The heaviest by far, the most ready body in terms of initial spring weigh-in. Gabe Hill, a blue chip guy, 6'1", 280. True freshman, number 92. Blake Smythe, number 91, 6'2", 281. And then another blue chip guy, Cam McAney, 6'1", 274. A little bit of a lighter nose, a little Tyreek Tucker-esque body type coming in as a blue chip guy at IMG, number 98. I have him in the wings as well. These guys are all in the 4, 5 deep, basically. Very strong group. Very, 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 very strong freshman class. Just don't really expect to see them. Like there's just so much ahead of them, and we'll kind of dive more into that. I think the guys I'm most excited about would be kind of seeing what Cavante Hugan's able to do at that lightweight. I think maybe a Rodney White or a Gabe Hill can really make some noise and push for some PT as true freshmen. Given the opportunity, we'll see what that looks like. I think there's a lot of excitement around those two. And then, just the overall development of, McAney, Smythe, I like Ronell Johnson brings a lot coming in at 269. He is a D end. So coming in at that weight, he seems like a guy who can push people right away. He came in he's not a blue chip, but he's definitely a friend. He was 4-star on Rivals. Like he is a fringe 3-4 star guy, not fitting my definition of a blue chip, but definitely has the potential to be of high caliber Big Ten problem, star player type. Some other redshirt freshmen they have in the weightings, Tristan Abram, who we're really high on. He's 228, a little light. Jervius Hall, a redshirt freshman, 6'2", 306. And then Keyshawn Calhoun, who I'm really high on too, very similar to Ronell Johnson, 6'2", 267, big D end, number 41. And then there's a couple guys who I think can contribute on this team from this redshirt freshman group right away. And they did play like solid minutes or a solid tick at times. They saw the field, but they kept their redshirt freshman status. That would be number 99, Tyrone Burris, 6'4", 236. And number 94, Kyler Garcia, 6'4", 291, redshirt freshman. He comes in as on my 2D. I think this guy is going to be producing right away. I think he has the lead for me. Obviously, like with this open spot that Kyler Garcia has, that's where it comes up with the Jervis Hall, Gabe Hill, Rodney White, maybe Keyshawn Calhoun, Ronald Johnson can fit into that rotation somehow, Tyrone Burris. But Kyler Garcia kind of fits in right there as kind of that fourth D tackle in this group that I think could be really high on. And then one guy I kind of skipped was Clinton Clark, who's more of a specialist guy. Like he's kind of a guy who's just on all the special teams. He can play a little. He's 6'1", 227. He's a stud, but he can probably move to linebacker if needed to be. Like he's one of the more versatile guys we have on our team. He's more of another Tom Allen going into year 3.
He's a football player, Brad.
Yeah, he's going into year 3 in the program. Really good football player. Brings a lot to the table. Came in as a linebacker. He's moved to D-line. There's a lot of versatility to Quentin Clark. And just excited to see him potentially even push for some playing time. So it's like got Clark, Burris, Hill, White, Calhoun, Ronald Johnson, Kyler Garcia, all these guys kind of pushing for tick. And it's going to be really hard because we got 7 dudes. Like I have in bold on this list, like bold means starters, like 7 like starting level guys in this group. This might be the deepest. Our D-line last year was nasty at the top, and they have been, but a lot of that is, the Haynes scheme, right? And the Haynes ability to kind of make you confused and do a lot of things. Like, not saying there's no talent, like Daly and Kamara are going to be NFL guys, and likely Wyatt as well. And CJ West is playing on the 49ers as we speak. Getting ready, and he's training, getting ready for his next year too. This is the deepest group that we've had by far. I don't think we've ever come in with this level of 7 just studs that come in. I'm going to start at the D tackle spot first. We bring back 2 starters, 2 national champions on the D tackle spot, Tyreek Tucker and Mario Landino. Number 97, Mario Landino, 6'4", 284, junior. And then Tyreek Tucker, the nose, number 95, 6 foot, 302, redshirt senior. I mean, these are guys that could be at the combine next year. Like, he's national champs. Tyreek Tucker's a playmaker. I think he's a big leader on this defense as a whole, not just this D-line group. He is the bona fide leader, being probably with Cignetti the longest out of anyone on this team by far. He's the only James Madison guy left. He's going to be so pivotal as a leadership guy and a production guy for this group. And then Landino is probably the NFL, like, lifer. He might be a 3-and-done guy. This is year 3 for him. We've said it before, he's got an NFL spin move from that 3-tech spot. Like, he is a problem. And when we talk about pass rush from the inside from this team, it's been starting with Landino. Like last year, it started with Landino in the middle. He was that guy. And Tyreek Tucker's really good against the quarterback too. And then we bring in a Joe Yelly, who kind of fits into those, short yardage, rotational guy, like brings a lot of experience. Number 90 in your program, 6'3", 309, the redshirt senior, transfer out of Tulsa. So we didn't get Brody Foley, but we got Joe Yelly. And it's spelled H-J-E-L-L-E. That's Joe Yelly. And he really fits into this really strong DT. Like, that guy's your DT3. Like, Jesus, wow. Like, that's basically having James Carpenter as your DT3. Like, this team is loaded. Like, let me tell you. And they're deep. And they have a lot of guys in the weightings that are going to push for that, 4th D tackle spot, whether it's Garcia, White, Hill, or Jervis Hall, Smythe, McHaney. Like, there's a lot of guys that can push for that. And but they have 3 solid guys up top. And then I didn't even get started on the DNs, man. Like, that's probably the best part of it. I gotta look up whether the Kansas State guys were blue chips or not real quick. Hold on. I'll come back to you.
No, I'm completely with you. I think when you start to think about
give me your thoughts on the D tackle group. How about that?
It's deep, man. It's super, super deep, and it's productive. And when you start to think about who the best defensive lineman on this football team is, it's like you could almost talk yourself in circles when you go, well, it's Landino because he does this, and then you go, well, Tyreek Tucker's actually might even be harder to take off the field, but then the way Landino gets after the quarterback, but Tucker also gets after the quarterback, and from production in the Indiana system, I don't even know if you could choose which one of them has been more productive, but I think if you told me you thought the best one was either of those guys, I'd probably just nod along.
Yeah. It's bringing back 2 starters from that championship group. Now, like I said, 7 starters, but 3 of them are from that championship group, which I think is really strong. And it's just about those other 4 guys fitting in. So like a Joe Yelly fitting in at that D tackle spot, following in the wings of Landino, which brings a little bit more question marks for the DN spot. But I think they're a lot more talented, and I'll tell you why.
Well, I'll pause you right there too. And
yeah.
I think that given the amount of depth, if you see a couple of those younger guys really push and try and earn their way into playing time, you can literally take Landino and just kick him over to end, and that eliminates any of the depth issues or production issues you might have with that position. And the depth and the versatility that this defensive line has is like downright terrifying.
Yeah, it's scary. It's scary hours for guys like Sand, guys like Moore, guys like Mayava, who are going to have to see these guys. Bryce Underwood, who's going to have to see these guys this year. Calandria. Yeah, it's hunting season, and these guys are going to get started. And this DN group is going to get it going even further. On my starting line, there's 4 guys that are legit stars, and they're all going to rotate. They're all going to play. It's like the same thing with like Martin, Richard, and Lee Beebe. Like, they're all going to play, and they're all going to play a big part. And they have like 4 starter level guys. I think it starts with Toby Osasonmi, number 12 in your program from Kansas State, 6'2", 244, comes in at that stud spot. You're going to learn the freeze. He's called the freeze. We can just call him the freeze because his name is so hard to pronounce. We'll just call him the freeze. He freezes tackles in the box and gets to the quarterback, and then he'll do his freeze dance. And we'll go back to and then every play is life and history of its own. And we're back to the next one. He just has to learn that. We could celebrate it, and then we're back. Blue chip guy. So he has the stud. He's been a guy. And now why are you doing that?
Did the freeze.
The freeze. All right. Yeah, the freeze. All right. And then on the other side, another blue chip guy from Notre Dame, Josh Barnum, is going to wear number 8 next year. He was a blue chip recruit, 4-star. He was like a top 100 guy. Like, he's as blue chip as it gets. No fringe here. 6'4", 246, very similar size to the freeze here. He's going to wear number 8, but I think he just comes in right away. And like those 2 guys, as your edge guys getting to the quarterback, like you're good to go. And then they bring in the freeze's sidekick, Chidi Obiazer, whose brother was just in the combine over for TCU. Chidi is a big DN, 6'5", 272, as a redshirt junior going into year 4. So he can come back next year, by the way. Exciting. Riveting stuff. And he can come back. But he can come in as like that bigger DN. So when we go short yardage, he's going to be a rotational guy on every downs. Like when we go short yardage, like he's going to be in there with like Yelly and Tucker and Landino, and he's going to be that extra beef that we were able to bring in as a big DN to kind of set the edge if they want to go outside on short yard situations, which is going to be huge to have. I love just the ideal DN mold of like 6'6", 280, and he's really close to that. So I love that kind of mold that he has, and translates to the league, and he has that up. All these guys have that upside, which is like the scariest part about it. And then Daniel Ndukwe, he's the fact that he's the last guy being spoken with, a guy that's been in the program 2 years, a returning starter, started in the Oregon game. His first start, gets 2 sacks, including a strip sack. And it's Oregon in the semis. Like, yeah, that's your 4th guy.
Block the punt.
I feel bad.
2 career punt blocks for Ndukwe.
I feel bad for some of these quarterbacks. Let's just say that.
You could argue he's the most athletic guy on the field.
He's probably one of the best. He's the guy that we saw, and when we were crunching tape in this early season side days, and we were going through this initial class that are all June. Remember, we were so high, we missed Roe Hardy. We were late to the Roe Hardy party. We didn't really catch on the Roe Hardy party, by the way. The Roe
You
Hardy.
were, I mean, no, listen, you actually noted he was an all-state basketball player, and then I noted that we can't just disqualify people because Kurt Signetti brought them in for a reason. So actually, we're probably a little bit ahead on Roe Hardy.
I'll take ownership and say I was a little late to the Hardy party until I noticed him about game 1 or game 2 of the first year. I didn't notice Roe Hardy, and then I, as soon as I noticed him though, I had to take where he's the best player of all time. So, we can make amends, right? And maybe I'm overcompensating, but Daniel Ndukwe is a guy that really stood out to us. Him and Landino, when we were crunching tape and looking at kind of their production in high school. I mean, this Ndukwe guy, he played receiver in high school. He's a freak. He can do it. When we talk talking bend on D lineman that bend, it's Daniel Ndukwe. We got the freeze, the bend, we got the girth with Obiazer, and we got the grit with Josh Barnum. Like loaded isn't even the right word, because I use that for this team, and this team like somehow surpassed it. Like, let me pull up who was our 2 deep last year going into this. All right, so we had Wyatt, Kamara, and Daly. Like, it's hard to say that these guys are going to be good, but it's like, let's say these guys stay healthy. Like, we didn't have Wyatt and Daly down the stretch. They weren't even there. Keep these guys healthy. We'll be just fine.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, the production left, production came in. Like, if you're going to answer the question of who's the best one in this defensive line group, though, who are you going with? In the whole group?
Best. Who's my? I want to say Mario Landino so bad, but I have a feeling it's going to be the freeze.
Oh.
And I love Tucker and Landino, and I think Landino is going to be like a top 100 pick guy.
Signetti said,
like, he can play if he goes out this year and has an all-conference year. Like, he's going to go top 100. I think people are going to wake up to the Landino crowd, but let's go with the freeze. I think the freeze might be better right now because he's 2 years older than Landino. I think that has to be said. Like, you gotta remember, they're just kids, right?
Just kids playing a sport.
Yeah, freeze
Brad,
is
Signetti said of the freeze that he, quote, moves different.
Yeah, that's when I got excited, because he doesn't say that about a lot of guys. That's why I think it's gonna be the freeze. It's gonna be Toby. That's why I like him there. But like I said, it's gonna be Toby this year. But then NFL career wise, I like Landino. Like, much like my Drew Evans versus Ajani take. You like that?
Yeah, I do. I do actually like that. I like it a lot.